Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a review/thought video for this one. For this one, I'm going to be taking a look at Star Wars Ahsoka, if I'm saying the name correctly, the first season on Disney Plus. I just finished watching all 8 episodes out there. And for parents, though, it's worth pointing out that Star Wars Ahsoka is rated TV-14 here in the United States and all. When it comes to Star Wars content on Disney Plus, though, I will say Lucasfilms has done a pretty good job with the Star Wars in terms of on Disney Plus, though. The first show was, of course, The Mandalorian, which still remains one of my favorite shows on Disney Plus and one of my favorite entries of the Star Wars series on Disney Plus and all. 2 other ones like the Obi-Wan Kenobi, to even the Endor one, which had a bit more of a thriller, spy, such political thriller to a certain degree and all. And I will say, I think they have done a good job with it, more so than I would say with Marvel to a certain degree. Not that I don't think any of Marvel's shows are bad. Loki is one good example, but some have also gotten mixed response, like say Secret Invasion and everything like that. Now, one of the things we've seen with the Star Wars shows on Disney Plus is that it seems to have built up towards basically the reveal of eventually Grand Admiral Thrawn and everything like that. And Ahsoka is probably the first attempt that we finally got to see Grand Admiral Thrawn and all. And after watching all 8 episodes, I will say this though. While I don't feel that Ahsoka has reached the level of, say, like the 3 seasons of Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or basically the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I still think it's still a good series nevertheless, and I definitely like some of the approach and some of the stuff they did with this show. So what we'll do is we'll break it down into what I like and what I didn't like, mixed or not sure, or not 100% sure though. In terms of what I like though, I will say that I definitely like how the show has a little bit of a samurai vibe to it to a certain degree, where shows like The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett had more of a spaghetti western or western style to it though. This one, a little bit closer to sort of like a samurai vibe, including with some of the scenes where Ahsoka is sort of training or it's doing in one of the battles. In terms of the background, you just get a little bit of that like samurai vibe to the show and all. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I like how they've taken different approach with different Star Wars shows, and I think this is another good example of them taking a different approach with this Star Wars shows at all. The next thing I do want to talk about is I definitely liked and enjoyed episode 5. I think this one is kind of my favorite one of the series, of season 1 to be exact though. And the reason why I like is that we get to see the actor who played Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, if I'm saying his name correctly. We got to see him sort of fight Ahsoka, both the adult version of Ahsoka, played by Rosario Dawson, if I'm saying her name correctly. Apologize if I'm not. And of course, his interaction with a young Ahsoka, played by Ariana Greenblatt. Again, apologize if I'm not saying the name correctly though. It's just nice to see him basically play Anakin Skywalker. I liked how he made a brief moments in Obi-Wan Kenobi, especially playing Vader after part of his mask gets cut off, to him interacting with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it's very interesting to see him seeing that spirit of Anakin Skywalker talk to Oscar. Again, I apologize, I'm not saying the name correctly and all. So I thought episode 5 was really probably a really good episode in terms of this series and all. So it was really nice to see, the spirit of Anakin Skywalker and everything like that. And last but not least, and I do have to give credit to the actor Lars Mikkelsen, if I'm saying his name correctly. I thought he did a really good job playing Grand Admiral Thrawn. I like his portrayment of him in a way. He's very, do sense a bit of, authoritarian and all that stuff. He's very intimidating. Maybe not on the same scale or have the power, say, like Emperor Palpatine does, but you still get that dread in terms of if you try to cross him, that that you're going to regret it big time and all. And I really like his portrayment, and I'm very curious to see how they use Grand Admiral Thrawn, whether it's basically any future Star Wars shows on Disney Plus to possibly maybe him being used for like maybe a Star Wars movie and all. There have been talks about a Mandalorian movie and all that stuff. Maybe he's used in that one. So I am very curious to see how he's going to portray Grand Admiral Thrawn going forward, though. But I will say I definitely like his portrayment of Grand Admiral Thrawn. I thought it was a really good portrayment on that one. As far as what I didn't like or mixed or not 100% sure, I will admit that I am somewhat disappointed with two characters, though. Shin Hati, played by Ivan Sakhno, again, apologize, I'm not saying the name correctly, right? And Baylan Skoll, played by Ray Stevenson. Though, I mean, I'm not saying the actor or the actresses are bad or anything like that. They're not. I thought they did a good job playing those roles and all. It's just, as the later episodes started to pop up, it almost felt like they were basically at that point taking a back seat, and they didn't. And I just felt after the end of season 1, it just felt like there wasn't really any conclusion for those two characters. Maybe if they do a season 2, we'll see some closure and all, but I just felt like I was just somewhat disappointed in how they were utilized or anything like that. I was hoping that there would be like maybe a send-off or even basically some backstory of how they came about in terms of trying to reach, Grand Admiral Thrawn and everything like that. A little bit of a backstory and all. So I was somewhat disappointed with these characters at all. Not the actor or the actress, just the character and all. And last but certainly not least, and this one I think is going to me, it's kind of a similar view I had with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And that is, there's a lot of stuff in here that not everyone's going to understand, and I think a lot of it will come down if you watch, Star Wars, the Clone Wars, or Star Wars Rebel show, or anything like that. If you didn't, there's going to be stuff that might be a bit confusing for some folks out there and all. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you can look it up, the shows up, and everything like that, but unless you watch those shows, you're probably not going to understand some of the stuff being said on Star Wars Ashoka, though. It's the same view I had with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, though. Good movie, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is reference to the events of, say, like WandaVision and all. And unless you actually watch WandaVision, you might be a little bit confused or wondering why, though spoiler alert, although the movie's been out for a while now, why Scarlet Witch or Wanda became sort of the villain and everything like that. So that's kind of how I felt with this show, though. I mean, a lot of it is there's certainly going to be a lot of references to the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and unless you watch those shows, some of this might be a bit confusing to some folks out there. Not everyone, but some folks, to be exact. Overall, I would say I enjoyed the show, though. I thought it was a good show, Star Wars Ahsoka, the first season and all. And I'm very curious if a second season happened, how they're going to handle season 2 and all. At its best, though, I like the somewhat samurai vibe to the show, though. Episode 5 is the one that stood out for me for most, seeing Anakin Skywalker and the young and old, an adult or a younger Asuka, and seeing those two interaction. And like I said, Lars Mikkelsen, again, apologize I'm not saying the name correctly, did a good job playing Grand Admiral Thrawn. So I definitely like his portrayment in terms of the character, though. But at its worst, at the same time, two of the characters, Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll, I just felt somewhat disappointed with how those characters were kind of portrayed, especially with the end of season 1, though. We'll see if they have sort of a closure if they do a season 2 or not. And of course, a lot of stuff, some folks are not going to understand a lot of stuff unless you watch the Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels, though. But still, I enjoyed this show. I thought it was good. Do I think it will overtake something like The Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett? Probably not, nor do I see this overtaking Obi-Wan Kenobi or anything like that. But I still came away very pleased with this, though. And I will say, I think Lucasfilm has done a good job with the Star Wars shows on Disney Plus, and I'm very curious to see if a season 2 does happen, though. It'll be very interesting if that does, to be exact, though. But with this show now done, I will be gearing up for watching season 2 of Loki. That's the next one on my list then. Okay, this concludes my review / thought of season 1 of Star Wars Ahsoka, Ahsoka. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the first season of Star Wars Ahsoka? Did you watch the show? Did you like the episode? Did you like the show in any way, though? Do you think it's the best Star Wars show on Disney Plus in any way? Were there any episodes that stood out for you, though? Did you like the portrayal of Grand Admiral Thrawn? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to. And feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon or Streamlabs. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye.